Hello everyone and welcome to week 3. Before we get into the week 3 assignments, I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about the difference between collaborative and cooperative learning because this was a question that I saw a lot in your Slack discussion groups. So what is the difference between cooperative and collaborative learning? How are they the same? In both situations, students are working together rather than the teacher delivering information to the students. Both are student-centered instruction. So direct instruction is when the teacher is delivering information. Student-centered is when the students are learning on their own. And they both have benefits that are unique to each of the pedagogies. So cooperative learning, students are given a task by the teacher and students learn to work together. They learn leadership, they learn how to resolve differences, they learn teamwork, and every student brings their strengths to a group. So this is where you often see like roles. Someone that's a recorder, someone that is a note taker, someone that is the designer, so each student is completing a different role. It's more engaged if it's organized properly than direct instruction, and larger tasks can become more manageable. Literature circles would be a good example of cooperative learning. We're reading a book together. We each have a role, an illustrator, a writer, a recorder, and we're all completing those activities. It can also make large tasks more manageable. So if you have a really large piece of text that you want students to read, if you divide up the text and have students share with each other, then that's cooperative learning. Jigsaw is an example of that. Another example is student as the expert or student visiting professors. There's different names for it, where students are assigned different things to read in a group. They create notes and then they go to a different group and they share that information with a mixed group of different people who read different things. And so they're learning together, but they've only read their section. Collaborative learning, on the other hand, is when students are given an open-ended question or problem to solve. And so they're creating something or on pursuit of a task. The teacher is the facilitator, but the learning is completely student-driven. It has many of the same benefits as cooperative learning, but an additional level of problem-solving, creation, and design. So you can see some examples in these pictures. Which one is better? Both of them are going to be very good pedagogical tools to use. Technically, we would scale collaborative learning as being more meaningful because it's higher on Bloom's taxonomy. But cooperative learning is also very important. It's important for students to learn how to work together. You could not throw students into collaborative learning without having practiced cooperative learning first. So they both have an important place to play in the classroom. Okay, so let's take a look at week 3. Week 3 is called Learning Beyond the Book. So you can see in the picture, we're going to be looking at museums, virtual museums, field trips. So the week 3 reading is chapter 5 and 6, and so you need to complete the reading and the comparing chapter 5 and 6 chart by Thursday, so that's done before you meet with your discussion group. You'll meet with your discussion group and there are a series of questions I'd like you to discuss and anything else that comes up, and then you're going to be doing some investigation into virtual experiences that students can have. So the week 3 reading is chapter 5 and 6. It's pretty substantial reading, but I think if you read while you're doing task 2, which is the chart, that it will be more meaningful to you. So task 2 is to compare chapter 5 and 6. Okay, so here we are in Blackboard. Week 3 goes through Sunday at midnight. And the week 3 reading, if you click on this, and remember you have to go to view assessment, is chapters 5 and 6. And so these are the questions, learning beyond the book. The chart is here, and what you're going to do is you're going to make a copy of the chart, so it's a link to a chart, and make sure you share it with this. Just a graphic organizer for you to use to organize your reading. So chapter 5 is concrete instructional strategies, and chapter 6 has representational instructional strategies. So I'd like an example, 3 examples of each, and then when is the best time to use concrete instructional strategies, and when is the best time to use representational instructional strategies, and then just what is the difference between concrete and representational instructional strategies. So this is kind of a summary. So these are examples from the book. When would you use it according to the book? And then this is a summary of sort of what you've learned. This needs to be done before you meet with your group to discuss, so that everyone has examples ready to discuss, and everyone has an understanding of the. So between Thursday and Sunday, you'll be meeting with your discussion group. It went really, really well last week. I was so pleased to see the discussions that were had on Slack. They were thoughtful, they were engaging, they had very specific examples, and people seem to enjoy having their group. If your group's not working out, or something's going on or your schedule changes, please reach out to me, because we can absolutely move people around. We have enough groups that is possible. So these are the discussion questions here under week 3 for your discussion group. And the final task for this week is virtual experiences. There's a folder of materials, and then there's a Padlet assignment that you're going to do. Okay, so here's the folder of materials. The link to the assignment is the first one listed here. Then there's information on Google Tour Creator, Google Expeditions. This is actually from my classroom from a couple years ago. Google Lit Trips, Google Earth, Google Voyager, Nearpod virtual field trips, Smithsonian Natural History Virtual Museum, and other art museum trips. So you're going to look through these materials, and then you're going to go to the Padlet post. You're going to go to this Padlet post, and it's going to ask, what virtual experiences will you incorporate into your future classroom? And all you have to do is press this plus, and then you can click. Please either sign in so that your name is attached, or include your name. If it's anonymous, it's really hard for me to give you points. You do not need to submit this to Blackboard, so if you want to write something to Blackboard, you can just write done or complete. All right, and those are the 4 tasks for week 3. I hope you enjoy learning about virtual experiences that you can take with your students, and that you have an excellent discussion with your group. And I will be in touch midweek. All right, take care, everybody.